What if the brain fog you wake up with, the joint aches you brush off, the energy crash you hit every afternoon? What if those aren't random? What if they trace back to 12 specific things you're eating on a normal Tuesday? There's a pattern connecting those symptoms to foods that have been processed so far beyond their original form that your body barely recognizes them as nutrition. We've tracked down all 12, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones to pull out of your pantry tonight. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1, sugary breakfast cereals. You grab the box because it says whole grain right there on the front, and the mascot looks cheerful, so it feels fine. But most popular cereals pack between 10 and 20 grams of added sugar per serving, and most people pour double the listed serving size without thinking twice. That grain on the label? It's been pulverized, puffed, and sugar-coated until your gut processes it almost the same as straight table sugar. Blood sugar spikes fast, insulin fires back hard, and 90 minutes later you're foggy and reaching for a snack. That mid-morning crash you blame on bad sleep starts right here in this bowl. Red 40, yellow 5, artificial colors show up in many of these cereals in doses high enough to make them look bright in the box, and research has raised real questions about what those dyes do to kids' attention and behavior. Swap the cereal for plain oats with fruit and you cut all of that out. The fiber in oats slows digestion and keeps your blood sugar from spiking at all. And those vitamins listed on the box? They were added back in after processing, stripped them out of the grain to begin with. Number 2, flavored yogurt with added sugar. Next up, flavored yogurt. You grab it from the health food aisle, right next to the probiotics, and the label says live cultures and good source of calcium. So it feels like a smart choice. Flip it over and read the sugar. A single small container can carry 20 to 26 grams of added sugar, more than many candy bars. That fruit at the bottom isn't fruit. It's high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavoring, and a little fruit concentrate mixed together. Your liver processes fructose differently than regular sugar, and when you eat it daily, fat builds up in the liver, and insulin resistance follows. The probiotics in that yogurt can't undo that damage. Low-fat versions are worse. Manufacturers pull the fat out, then dump in more sugar and thickeners to fix the texture. So you lose the one ingredient that slows sugar absorption and get more of the one that spikes it. Plain Greek yogurt with real fruit on top gives you the protein and probiotics without any of that. After about a week off the sweetened stuff, it starts tasting like frosting. Number 3, white bread. Now, white bread. It doesn't taste sweet, so most people never suspect it. But the second you start chewing it, enzymes in your saliva break it down into glucose, and by the time it reaches your stomach, your body treats it almost identically to straight sugar. The milling process strips out the bran and germ, which is where all the fiber and nutrients live, leaving mostly starch with nothing to slow digestion down. Blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and that mid-afternoon energy crash you blamed on a bad night's sleep starts at lunch. Number 4, processed deli meats. A turkey sandwich feels like a responsible lunch. Lean protein, a little bread, maybe some vegetables. But that turkey has been through a preservation process that loads it with compounds your body wasn't built to handle daily. Sodium nitrate and sodium nitrite keep the meat pink and bacteria-free, but when they mix with meat proteins during digestion, they form nitrosamines, which damage cells and raise cancer risk. The World Health Organization classifies processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. That's not a maybe, that's definitive. Number 5, frozen pizzas. Now, frozen pizza. It's fast, it's filling, and it feels like a harmless shortcut. But a single personal-sized pizza can carry more sodium, saturated fat, and refined carbs than most people should eat in an entire day. The crust acts like sugar in your blood. The cheese loads in saturated fat and sodium. The sauce usually hides added sugar, and the pepperoni or sausage brings its own nitrates on top of all that. Food scientists actually call this hyperpalatability, a precise mix of fat, salt, sugar, and refined carbs calibrated to override your brain's fullness signals. Number 6, packaged snack cakes. Next up, packaged snack cakes. A snack cake can sit in a vending machine for months without going stale. And that's not because the ingredients are stable. It's because the product has been processed so thoroughly that bacteria and mold barely recognize it as food. Read the ingredient list. You'll find partially hydrogenated oils, high fructose corn syrup, multiple other sugar sources stacked on top, artificial flavors, and emulsifiers like sorbitol monostearate holding the texture together through warehouse temperature swings. A single cake can carry 30 to 40 grams of sugar, and your body converts all of it to glucose, driving the same insulin spike and fat storage signal every time. Number 7, potato chips. Now, potato chips. You open the bag planning to eat a handful, and 20 minutes later it's gone. That's not a willpower problem. Chips are fried in omega-6 heavy oils like corn and soybean oil, and eating them regularly pushes your body's inflammatory response into overdrive, feeding the same pathways behind joint pain and skin problems. The frying process also generates AGEs, compounds formed when sugars bond with fats under high heat, and they accelerate aging in your blood vessels and organs over time. Flavor additives like yeast extracts amplify the savory signal your brain gets, making the food, as one expert put it, tasty by design, but it's all a trick. Number 8, sugary soft drinks. Sugary soft drinks. When you crack open a soda, there's no fiber, no protein, no fat to slow anything down, so that sugar hits your blood faster than almost anything else you eat all day. A standard can carry about 39 grams of sugar, mostly fructose, and your liver handles fructose separately from other sugars by converting the excess directly into fat. Do that daily and fat builds up in the liver, which doctors now connect to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Number 9, energy drinks. Energy drinks are sold as focus fuel, the thing you grab before a workout or a long shift. But what's actually in the can is high-dose caffeine, sugar, or artificial sweeteners, and a mix of additives whose interactions haven't been well studied. Some cans carry over 300 milligrams of caffeine, and many add guarana on top of that, which packs even more caffeine beyond what's listed. Your heart rate climbs, blood pressure rises, and for anyone with cardiac sensitivity, arrhythmia risk goes up. The sugar versions layer a blood sugar spike right on top of that cardiovascular stress, so your body's running 2 alarm systems at once. Number 10, fast food burgers. Fast food burgers are some of the most precisely engineered products ever built, and built is the right word. Every element, the bun, the patty, the sauce, the cheese, gets optimized not for your health, but for the exact ratio of fat, salt, and sugar that keeps your brain asking for another one. That beef patty comes from a blend of meat from hundreds of different animals, cooked at high heat in a way that generates heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, both linked to cancer risk in research. The more well done the patty, the higher the concentration. Number 11, fried chicken. Fried chicken is comfort food, no argument there. But commercial fried chicken gets cooked in oil that's been reheated through hundreds of batches, and oil that's cycled that many times breaks down into oxidized fats and aldehydes, which are reactive compounds that drive cellular damage and inflammation long after the meal's done. The breading soaks up a significant amount of that degraded oil, so you're eating far more than just chicken. AGEs concentrate heavily in the skin, and research connects regular high AGE diets to stiffer arteries and elevated inflammatory markers like CRP. Number 12, French fries. French fries are on every menu in every freezer aisle at every fast food table. Nobody thinks twice about ordering them, but a single serving concentrates almost every harm on this list into one side dish. Start with a potato, peel it, and you've already stripped most of the fiber. Fry it in industrial oil at high heat and you get AGEs, oxidized fats, and acrylamide, a compound that forms specifically in starchy foods cooked that hot and gets classified as a probable carcinogen. Frozen fries get coated in dextrose before packaging to hit that golden brown color, which is partly just a visual marker for how much acrylamide formed. Your gut microbiome starts shifting within days of cutting foods like this out. You don't have to fix everything tonight. Pick the one item you eat most often and swap it for something with fewer than 5 ingredients this week. The food industry pays brilliant scientists to make you keep buying. That's not discipline failure. That's engineering.